Hi, everyone. I got one who believes, and he's got his questions that lined up that you've asked, and he's getting ready to answer them. So I'll let you start in, one who believes, and tell us what we need to know.
Okay. Thank you for having me on. So what we've done is we had several videos, and I've gone through most of the posts on there, not all of them, but I highlighted a lot of the questions that I'm going to cover them. Plus, I'm covering some of the questions that came over in Dinar Chronicles. So we're just going to go through these just to let you know I don't have any banking contacts or elders contacts. All the information I have is what I've derived from my research and from the people I have confidence in, which is frankly Joseph, Bruce, Fisher, Zora, Veritas, and those people for very good reasons because I also validate it with my own sense of what's true and what's not true. So I'm just gonna go over these questions, and we're just gonna go free flow here. I'm gonna read some of my answers on the ones where I wrote the answers out, and then on the other ones, I'm just gonna answer them right off the bat. Okay, so here we go. So this particular post called "Questions Regarding Too Much Money." I'm going to give Gary the link for that, so he can put that under the video because this has got a lot of other reference links on here that you can go to, other posts that I've linked to that I've written. So the question is thoughts on capability of managing big projects. This came in from someone who was thinking, I'm not an expert on managing products, but there's been some naysayers that have said things like, you're not, why would they give you big money if you're not an expert on managing projects? And you know what? You don't have to be. That's not important at all. What's important is you have the money. And let me read the answer first here. It says, answer, you don't need to do any of the work yourself. You just have to be the money person or the idea person or the one who does the work. Kent Dunn reported in a Gary Larrabee video that HSBC can run and manage your humanitarian projects for you no matter what country they're in. Just tell them what you want to do, and they'll get it all done for you. You don't have to be an expert at anything. You can buy whatever expertise you need on any subject or any project you want to do. Easy. Now, I wrote a post on that called You Can Have It All. You might be able to look that up on Dinar Chronicles, but if not, the link to this post with all these links in it will be under this video. So what it amounts to is this. Is say I want to drill wells in Africa. You tell HSBC, who's the lead bank, and by the way, they're in all these countries already, and you say, hey, you know what? I want to pick out the top smallest or the top largest, whatever you want to do, and say, I want to drill 100 wells in each town. Make it happen. And they put together a management team, because remember, they finance projects. They have contacts with contractors and all those kinds of things, because that's what big banks do. And so anything you want to do, they can do for you. Now, this is the bank, plus you can hire managers, they can hire managers. You can sit out on the beach and be sipping a margarita, and at the same time, wells are being drilled in Africa. Houses are being built in Australia. Homeless are being fed in South America. All those things can be going on, and you don't have to know a thing about how it's done. You're the money guy. You just direct it. Now, and you don't even have to have the idea, because you have the money. There's a lot of people that have ideas and have passion. And what you can do is you can hire somebody whose job it is to find projects to fund. And there's going to be a lot of them. People are going to say, hey, we want to do this project. And they submit their paperwork, just like Land China Global does. And they say, I like it. Fund it. And there you go. So, listen, you don't have to have any capability. Don't worry about that. You need experts, hire them. You need accountants, hire them. You need attorneys, hire them. You need a big international bank to put the project together, hire them. Whatever you need, you can hire. You can be the one that's doing the work, or you can be sitting on the beach, or anywhere in between. So don't worry about that. Okay. Question number 2. There's a comment about structured payout. So this guy made a comment, and I happen to agree with him. He says, what he's saying is true, that structured payouts are like the lottery payouts. When you get the last payment, you have all the money. So basically, you're getting principal and interest. But however, this program is more like a CD, where you deposit all the money into an account. The bank uses it and pays you quarterly interest payments on it for a certain number of years, and when it's over, you get all your money back. I remember specifically that Bruce one night said in one of his calls that the banks don't like us using the term structured payout. And of course, because that's not exactly what this is. However, he didn't know the right term either. And frankly, we haven't been given a different term for it. So we don't have any way to call it. I would call it a CD because that's how it acts. From back in my day, I remember a CD, a certificate of deposit, would be you put 10,000 or 100,000 or a million into a CD, and it matured in 90 days or a year or whatever it was, and you got paid interest off of it. And when it matured, they gave you your money back, or you'd say, run it again. So from what I understand, the money stays in the account, you get interest off of it. When it's over, you get the whole amount back. So it says, but no matter what you call it, they hold your funds and use them, then pay you interest for the time agreed, and then you get all your money back. The term of the plan will differ based on certain factors such as age. So this brings up another question a lot of people had is, they say, ooh, I'm 70, or I'm 80, or I'm 20, or I'm 50. So the deal is the 50-year payout is what I understand is the longest possible payout. And that's going to be for younger people. But I understand that for older people, that it could be as little as, and I'm guessing now, I can't remember if it's as little as 2 years or as little as 5 years, but the number of years before the whole thing pays out for you is greatly reduced. If you're older, you're going to have access to your money faster. So there's different terms and different agreements on the payout. And by the way, I might as well cover this now while I'm at it. There's two parts. There's the money you're going to get in your account, which would be what I would call the actual exchange value. That's all yours. You get that right now. And then the part that's the privately negotiated, the extra money that they give you, that's the part that has payout plans attached to it. Okay. Next question. How is the payment guaranteed? Again, I have no bank contact. I have no first contact. This is just information of what I've learned myself. I'm sharing with you. As far as I know, the payments are guaranteed by the bank's assets. That is something to ask them if you're concerned about it. However, I'm not worried about it, as it's Basel III means that there's 25% protection. Now, I'm not really sure of exactly how it's protected, but if I understand it right, it's something like the bank holds at least 25% cash to back up the deposit. But Basel IV means 50%, and Basel V means 100% protection of your funds. Now, I don't know all the whole detail of that exactly, but it's something like that. You can ask them when you get down there. I don't know exactly how and what is protected exactly, but it has been said by Joseph that you won't even need to get insurance on your account because it will be so safe, way safer than it has ever been. Okay, this question is about the elders. Are the elders giving us gold or just loaning it? I don't know the answer to this. But suffice to say that no matter what it is, it's a good plan and works for the world change that we're wanting. After all, we're going to be a benevolent, high vibration, peaceful, and prosperous world that is heading to a time when money will no longer be needed. I have high confidence that whatever the plan is, it will work out no matter which way it has been set up. So whether they're giving it to us or loaning it to us, I don't know. But whatever it is, it's well structured for the new change of the world, and I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, number 5. Comment on, that a bond cannot be valued more than another bond. Okay, so the way I read this question was that someone was saying, if somebody got paid this amount on their bond, meaning the Zim bond as a bond, that somebody over here wouldn't be able to get paid more than that on it. And so the big question is there really flexibility in the payment? So here's the answer. I understand what this poster is saying. However, this situation is a bit different. Basically, there is one part of the exchange, which is the currency bond part. Then the rest is privately negotiated above and beyond that. Suffice to say that the extra money given in terms of rate is a separate transaction and is a gift and not an exchange. It is given to the people who, A, already have a lot of money coming to them, B, ask for the higher rate specifically, which is the gift, and C, have a good reason to be given this extra money for humanitarian projects. I have written several posts on this that explain this in detail. Now, these are all the links that will be on this post, and you're going to have a link to it. So let me just give you a snapshot of this. So you got the money that you would get if you walked in off the street to a bank on the corner. That's a legitimate exchange rate. That's yours. Okay. But the bank is going to give you. You don't, it's not owed to you. It's not your right. They're going to give you extra money, just like they gave these prosperity packages to people that didn't even have currency. They just gave them the money for humanitarian projects. Now, this makes a lot of sense to me because the people that they're giving these extra high negotiated rates to are the people that already have a lot of money. So these people aren't going to try to hoard it because they're already rich anyway. So they're taking the people that are already rich, that have the Zim and the dinar and the dong and these currencies, and they're saying, hey, we're willing to give you even some more money that you can give to humanity through your projects and your ideas. And if you A, ask for it, B, have a good reason to get it, then C, they give it to you. But it's a gift. So if one person is exchanging a 100 T note and he gets a regular rate on that bond, and another person is exchanging a 100 T note, an example, or a dong or whatever, the same note, and they get a much higher rate, it's not that they're getting more money for the exchange. The net is that. But what they're getting is what they should have gotten just because they had it, just what they were due because they were holding the currency. But everything above that is an extra gift. They can give it to you or not give it to you. It is not owed to you. You are not entitled to it. So you can't say, ooh, this person got a higher exchange rate than me, okay? What they're saying is that person got the same rate you got, plus they were given extra money because A, they asked for it, and B, they had a good reason for it. And so they were given the extra money in the same way as people with the prosperity packages were given that money. It's like, okay, you're going to use this for humanity? We're going to give it to you. Because after all, you're already rich, so you're not going to hoard it. You've got your own money. And you've already indicated you have intentions on using this for humanitarian purposes, so we're going to give it to you. So that makes this big argument that says, ooh, one person can't get more than the other, completely moot, because everybody gets the same rate. But then if you have humanitarian projects, by the way, while you're here, we're going to give you some extra money. And that's what that's all about. Okay. Like I said, I've written a lot of articles on that, and the links will be in this post. You'll have a link that'll take you to all these other links. Okay. Questions about who has say over your account. Okay, so this is a good question. A lot of people don't understand this. This is how I understand it. See, people are saying, how is it that you have say over this structured rate, but I have to have this structured rate? How is it that you have that kind of control over my account? And this will explain it. This is an easy question to answer because it's a two-parter. Part one is that you will get a certain portion of your exchange in spendable cash because it is the actual part that is the exchange rate. You are entitled to the exchange rate. That's yours. This is the rate you are entitled to just because you hold the currency. No one has any say on that. Okay. Part two is that whatever else you get after that, by your negotiating effort to get the extra gift rate or the extra high exchange rate from the elders through the bank, who's acting as the middleman to deliver that extra money to you, is treated differently. If you meet their expectations, you already have a lot of money and have plans for humanitarian work and seem well-intentioned about it, you will be offered this special gift added onto your exchange transaction. So this is the extra exchange money we talked about just in the last question. This is the extra part. Okay? So this is how the offer is going to come. Okay? Then they will make this offer to you. And this is an example of how it's going to be framed so you can understand this. The banker says to you, we like your ideas, and you seem like the kind of person we are looking for to help the world in humanitarian efforts and to help our environmental problems as well. We are prepared to offer you a gift of money to help you with your project ideas and mission. We will place a certain amount of cash in an account in your name and pay you an agreed amount of interest quarterly for a period of time not to exceed 50 years. Now, as we discussed earlier, that's going to vary depending on your age and other factors. Then it continues, we will also require that you keep our arrangement private, and thus we will execute an NDA, which is the non-disclosure agreement, between us to prevent either of us from disclosing the details of our special gift arrangement, our private gift arrangement with you. Will you accept this money as offered and these terms? And here's the tip. This is a yes or no question. So going back to the question of who has say over your account, well, you have say over the money that you're entitled to based on the regular exchange rate. You have complete say over that. But the negotiated rates become in a structured type payout situation. You don't have say over that. That's the gift. They say, we're going to put this money in the account, and we're going to pay you interest on it, and we're going to give you this extra money. Listen, you don't have the currency to back up that extra money. This is above and beyond the currency you have. That's the part you got to understand. It's above and beyond the currency you have. So they're going to give you this, but this is how it's given. We're going to put it in an account. We're going to pay you interest for 50 years or whatever the term is, and then you get to keep it all. And you can either say yes or say no. But it's not that they have say over your account. They have say over how they're going to give you the gift. They didn't say, we're going to give you this money and we're going to give it to you in cash. We're going to give it to you and pay it out in interest so you can feed an income off that for all your projects. And after a certain amount of time, you can have it all. So that's how the gift is phrased. That's how the gift is offered. And either you accept it or you don't. If you don't want to have any control over anything, just take the exchange rate. If you're willing to accept a big, fat chunk of cash sitting in an account with a whole lot of zeros behind it, paying you an unbelievable interest rate quarterly that you can use for humanitarian projects, and the only condition is that they pay it to you that way, take it. It's a gift. It didn't cost you anything. It was given to you for you to give to humanity. But that's the conditions. It's not that they have say. That's the nature of the gift they're giving you. Okay. Now here we got a question on the trustworthiness of the bank. Okay, first of all, I didn't write all this here. I'm just going to add them. Okay, the deal with the trustworthiness of the banks are, they were really bad before, I know. And again, this is all my opinion. Okay, I don't have any connection to the banks or that kind of thing. But this is the thing. They've got all kinds of regulations now. They've got software that tracks transactions, 40 moves, in either direction. And so the thing is, they can't get away with what they used to get away with. And the thing about it is that with the new energy, the new positiveness, the new happiness on the planet, the hate and destruction and fear and control and all of those other low vibration 3D cabal type energies are not going to be able to survive in a age where things are happy, the energy is higher, the field is not conducive to those type of energies. And then I remember that another thing that this person had asked was, what if I told them that, I'm concerned about them investing in bad corporations or in, evil investments that do harm to the environment or whatever. And this is the thing. You're not going to have to worry about that. Because from what I understand, all the evil corporations are going to be bought out like first thing when this goes down. I think when the Sarah goes down, they're being bought out. And that evil stuff they're doing is not going to be permitted. It is going to be turned around. So the thing about it is no, you don't really have a say in telling the bank where they can invest their money. But on the other hand, where are they going to invest it? There's not going to be any evil stuff going on, nor will it be permitted. It not only will not be permitted based on laws, it's not going to be possible based on energy. So the trustworthiness of the banks, I feel pretty good about them myself. But again, you can ask them about that when you're there. But you know what? I feel really good in this new age, this new benevolent age, that it's going to be trustworthy. Okay. Okay, here we go. Questions about my sources and my credibility. So someone was asking me, why do I know it all? And the answer is, I have no sources. All the information I have, I've gathered from sources such as Joseph, Tank, Fisher, Bruce, Zora, Veritas, and various other internet sites and sources. For the most part, I clearly say who I got it from, or why I think the information is what it is. I even say that I'm not sure if I'm not sure. While I try to source everything I say, it is really hard when it comes from so many diverse sources, such as Cobra and Tolek and Sheldon Neidl and all those other really interesting sources. Importantly, I have never said that I have bank contacts or elder contacts or anything of the sort. You can check all my posts for yourself. However, I am what I would call an expert in the law of attraction and how the universe works. That is where I am the source of much of my information, concepts, and ideas. I have recently been writing more as my own understanding has grown. The more I learn, the more I want to share. So expect even more from me in the future as I learn even more about this myself. Okay, so here is a question about the super high rate. This guy says, hey, that a person with a single 100T note could exchange for the super high, negotiated rate of, say, an example, $125,000 per death. How crazy would that be? It sounds crazy when you think about it that way, and when you first say it that way. But once we go through this, you're going to see that it's not that crazy. So let me show you how this works. I remember that Joseph and Bruce have said again and again that you have been given a blank check, meaning that you will tell them how much you need and want for your project, and they will work it out so that you get what you need. Clearly, work it out means that they will take into consideration what currencies you have, dong, dinar, dim, whatever denomination, and then adjust the rate you get on them to reach what you need. To me, that means this. If you need a huge amount of money for a project that merits that amount of money, so we got a huge project that's worth it. It's important, okay? Let's start there. And you have only one 100T note, then you will be given the rate that will make that 100T note become the amount of money you will need. However, if someone else presents the same exact project, equal size, equal merit, same word, worth doing, valuable, important. Same amount of money is going to be needed, with the same exact need of money, and they have 1,000 under T-notes, they will be getting a much lower rate because the net amount needed is the currency you hold times the rate needed, so that the total amount of money you get is what you want for the project. That's the total amount needed based on what you have to start with. So you see, a person with only one note needs a high rate to reach that mark. But a person with 10 notes, 100 notes, 1,000 notes doesn't need as high a rate to reach that target. So, to me, the people with the fewer notes are the ones more likely to get the higher rates because they need a higher rate to reach those targets. Whereas the people with more notes don't need as high a rate to reach the targets. So when someone says they got 100, they got a big, huge exchange number on one note, that makes sense to me because they were only working with one note to get to that project. Okay, so that means that if a person has one under T note, and we're just using this example with them, but remember, privately negotiable rates also work on the other currencies like the dong and dinar. Okay, so that means if a person has 100 T note and they got the 125,000 per zim rate, that crazy high rate, that would mean that not only did they qualify for a humanitarian bonus gift rate, but the amount that was needed, the check amount, the blank check amount, remember the blank check, was so great that the rate had to be 125,000 per zim to reach that amount with only one note. Now, if they had 10 100 T notes in this example, and the rate would be 12,500 per zim, not 125,000, 12,500, or 10 times less to reach the same target amount of money. So in short, if someone got that crazy amount of money, their project must have been crazy big and crazy important. In short, whatever someone gets is not crazy. It is based on what they have, what rate they need to get the money that matches their project. So no, a high rate is not crazy. But to me, a high rate would be crazy if you had a lot of currency, because it's about reaching a target amount. Now, could you get a high rate on a lot of currency? Yeah, I'm not saying you couldn't. The bank wants you to get as much money as you can. They're hoping that you're going to ask for the privately negotiated rate because they want to give you that high money. Now, from what I understand, they're not allowed to offer you that unless you ask, and that makes perfect sense to me. So ask for the higher rate, find out what they're going to give you, tell them what you're doing, and here's a tip. Whatever you're doing for your project for one town, you're doing it for all towns, in all states, in all countries, not just this year, but for 100 years. And not just those projects, but just setting money aside for the new technologies, the new patents, the 6,000 patents that are going to be released. They're all going to need to be made. They're going to need to set up manufacturing plants. They're going to need to be manufactured. They're going to need to be distributed. So not only are you doing all of this with your project, but you're also going to need money for projects that you don't even know about yet. Okay, so that answers that question. Okay, Gary, I'm going to go on to some of these other questions.
Okay.
Okay, so these are some of the questions that were under some of these other videos here. Okay. Let's see. Something, okay. Why are they revaluating currency and it's worldwide? Okay, so a lot of the countries were dominated and treated unfairly and poorly by having their money lowered, like we just did to Iraq, and like we had done to Kuwait. The first thing they do when they invade them is they devalue their money so they can't buy anything. That's a domination technique. So what they're doing is they're making all countries, all currencies, nearly equal. Now, it doesn't mean exactly 1-to-1, although a lot of them are moving 1-to-1. But it means that somewhere close, maybe 3-to-1, maybe 5-to-1, maybe 1-to-1, somewhere in there, to where once they're set at this new rate, they are probably not going to change for a long, long time, if ever. Because now they're based on gold, and now if gold or assets go up, they all go up. If it goes down, they all go down. And there will never be that imbalance between countries ever again like there's been now. So that's why they're having to do it worldwide. And the reason why they're having to do it at the same time is suppose that they just did Iraq. So then what would happen? Of course, everybody would invest in the dinar. And as soon as Iraq revalued, they have a big pile of money. And then they say, ooh, we're going to do Vietnam next. You say, okay, let's buy Vietnam notes. And then when they revalued, you had even a bigger amount of money. And they say, ooh, what's next? Indonesia. Okay, let's buy those. So they can't have that. They can't let that happen. Because that's exactly what people are going to do. They're going to buy whatever currency is revaluing and then buy the next one in line. So when it goes, it's going to all go at once. So once it changes, everybody's going to be at the new rate, and there won't be any more going on. So that's the answer to why it's revaluing worldwide. Okay. Next question, scrolling down. Okay, it says, does this type of structure payout go for prosperity packages as well? I really don't know about how those are set up. I know that I understand that people just signed up on a list one day during a period, and they were each granted a certain amount of money based on doing humanitarian projects. They may have even submitted some. I'm not really sure exactly how that works. But those projects are monitored, as far as I know, to where they have to follow through on building the buildings or doing the deeds. And I think they can give themselves an income out of that. But it's a really different kind of a thing than what you guys have. You guys have legitimate currency, which you can just walk in and get the exchange rate and be done. Or you can ask for a gift, which is basically humanitarian project money, just like these people got for nothing. They got that extra gift money without even having currency. You got currency, but they're going to also offer you the opportunity to get that extra gift money like they got. That's what that's about. Then it says here, how can 1 cent on a dollar give anybody feeling of prosperity? So that goes back to that post about all you're really going for is income. But the thing about the income is, yes, if you had, let me show you how big this is. That's 1%. That's 1 cent on a dollar per year. But let's say you got $1 on 100 T notes, that gives you 100 trillion, and then of that you got 1% interest. So 1% of 100 trillion is 1 trillion. So if you only got $1 on one note and you only got 1% interest a year, that means you would get 1 trillion a year in interest for 50 years, or however long you have it set up for, and they would pay you that quarterly, which means every 90 days you would have $250 billion to spend on projects. So still, even 1%, $1 on one note, that's still a lot of money. And that's every quarter, every year, for 50 years, or whatever term you have. So don't worry about it. It's a lot of money. Okay. Here it says, I'm 60 years old now, and in 50 years I'll be dead. Well, probably not, by the way, because you're right near the healing technologies and the anti-aging technologies we're going to be getting, so you're probably going to make it. So I'm going to disagree with that statement. But as far as the 50 years goes, if you're 60, I don't know what the structure payout is for that. I know that 50 years is the most they're going to go, But as people get older, as the people are older, they are backing it down to 40 years, 30 years, whatever it is. So I don't know what it would be for 60 years. I don't think it's going to be the maximum of 50, though. I think it's going to be less. But have confidence in yourself because you're in the new age. New healing technologies to take care of all diseases and even reverse aging are coming very shortly. You're going to make it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Here it says, do you ever feel like we're living in the movie Groundhog Day? Yes, every day. Here it says, do you guys ever feel like we're living in the movie Groundhog Day? Yes, every day. Did you get that, Gary?
Yes, I did. Mhm. Right.
Okay, let's see here. Someone wants to know what the RB is. The RB is the revaluation of currencies. It's basically a leveling of the differences in the currencies throughout the world. And if you're holding the right currency at the right time and it goes to level out, you're going to do very well. And there's really 5 main currencies that are changing. Those would be the ones. And that's what the RB is. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Oh, here we go. It says he tends to overlook the fact that you'll have to pay taxes on that income as capital gains. Don't believe there are any tax exchanges, taxes on exchanges. Okay, so the way I understand it, there's not going to be any taxes on the exchanges, although we're told to say exchange and not say cash in. And just in case it matters, I don't know if it matters anymore, but it might. So be sure you say you're here to exchange. And as far as taxes on gifts, somebody else was asking about that. I'm not a tax person. I don't know what the new tax rules are going to be, but I have a pretty good feeling that you're going to be able to give people money without running into an income tax thing. But of course, you're going to ask the banker that when you get there. Okay, here it says, what about people who are 30 years? Okay, I already answered that. The payout is 50 years at the most, and then depending on your age and maybe even your health and other factors, you can negotiate that back, and they'll bring it down to a shorter payout period. Here it says, as long as banks are involved, they don't want anything to do with this. You don't have to worry about it. The banks have been overhauled. The cabal has been taken out. They've got so many regulations on them and so many penalties if they make a mistake and do the wrong thing. This system is so transparent. They can't be off. Well, I'm just saying this as an example. They can't be off by $1 without it triggering alarms to see who's doing what, who's taking money. So I wouldn't worry about it. I would trust the banks. Like, where else are you going to put trillions of dollars anyway? Okay, then it says here, I don't have anything to exchange anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, I just want to point out that if you don't have anything to exchange, that's okay. Because if you want to get in on the fun of having humanitarian projects and feeding the homeless and housing them and, cleaning up the environment and all these other really great things, because we're all here for a purpose. Anybody that's alive right now has got some mission that's involved with this project, especially if you're reading this and hearing these stories. So not having currency is no issue whatsoever. Having a passion for something you want to see done or something you want to do, that's important. If you've got that passion, there are going to be plenty of people around with money trying to figure out what to fund. All you got to do is put an ad in the paper or, these blogs are going to go crazy. There's going to be a lot of people that says, you want to do what? Let me give you the money to do it. So don't even worry about that. What I would say to you is start thinking about all the things you ever wanted to do to serve humanity or animals, pet shelters, or elderly homes, whatever it is that you're saying that would give you joy to see done or that you give you joy to do. Start thinking about it because the money is everywhere. In fact, you can go to Landa China Global, and they got a sign-up page, and they will fund projects up to $1 trillion. And what you do is you submit your idea to them. Now, bear in mind, you don't have to have currency or nothing for this. You just go over there right now. You submit your idea to them. Then if they like your project idea, they will make arrangements for somebody to write the business plan for you and get it all set up, and then they'll fund it. So money is everywhere. And this is going to be fun, helping the world improve, helping the planet. In fact, if you're looking for ideas, over on Denard Chronicles, they've got a humanitarian project tab on the right side of the page. You see it, humanitarian project, and there are literally thousands of great ideas there. In fact, they're always looking for people to submit more ideas there, because once the money comes in and you're looking for something to do, you just go through those projects and pick out things you want to do. It's like, hey, you want to do this project? I'll give you the money, go do it. How about that project? I want to fund that one too. Somebody come and do that project, and I'll pay for it. So don't worry about not having any money right now, and not having any currency. If you want to get in on the fun of bringing the world back up to its pristine status and helping people out, that's going to be a lot of fun, then by all means, check out Land of China Global. Check out the projects that are available over there on Denard Chronicles on the humanitarian tab on the right side of the page. And as soon as the money comes, there are going to be plenty of people just like me. They're going to have more money than I've got projects for, and I'm going to be looking for people like you to give you some money to go do the things you want to do. And I will love doing it. Okay, here it says that I'm 70, almost 71. Will payouts be different for people in my age group? Yes. Yes. There are going to be a different payout time frame, different arrangements on that. But again, 71, that's not too old. I think you're going to make it to the anti-aging program that's coming. We're all going back. We're all going to get perfect health, and then we're going to go back. So I think you're going to make it. So don't be thinking like you're not. Be thinking like you are. Okay. How will the banks be able to come up with the interest? Okay, this is a good question. And my thoughts on this are, I don't really think the banks are getting the interest, really. I really don't think they're actually investing the money and getting interest. I think that the Chinese are paying the interest on those accounts. Because I've heard they go up to 8%. And it's like, where's the bank going to invest thousands of trillions to get 8%? When everybody else is giving money away for projects and paying for them, for free. So, if you think about it, if an example, the Zim, if it could be, $100,000 for Zim, and you got $50,000 for Zim, or 80 or whatever, there's a lot of difference between whatever the rate is you get and what it could have been. And a few points of interest in between, you know what? That's easy for me to think that the bank the Chinese are actually paying the interest to the bank. I don't know that for a fact, but I wouldn't be surprised if they told me that. They're already paying gobs of money, and they want you to have it in an account, and they want you to feed off of it as an income stream for doing your projects. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're not only giving you the exchange rate, but giving you the interest too. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay, here's another question. With this term payout with interest payments quarterly also apply to Denard, Dong, and Zip? Okay, yes. This structured payout program is for all the major currencies, and I think that the high negotiated rate is available in all those currencies. So what they're saying is, you're already getting so much money, we're not worried about you hoarding it because you got your own. So if you're already getting a lot of money, and if you ask the right question, like privately negotiated rate, the banker, then they're going to give you extra money as a gift, and that's the privately negotiated rate. That's the privately negotiated gift, if you want to think of it in the right terms. And yes, Dinar, Dong, and Zim. Maybe Rupee too, I don't know. If you're getting enough money, they probably will give you it on any of those currencies. But I'm pretty sure that Dinar, Dong is definitely also included with the Zim. Okay, another question here. Will the amount look for those of us with no specific projects? Will the amount look for those of us with no specific unit? How will the amounts look? How will the amounts look? Okay. They're going to be really good. The street rates are really, really good. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't get some extra money, even if you don't have a humanitarian project, because after all, you don't know what's coming down the bend. You don't know what technologies there are, what you might want to invest in. I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't get a pretty good bump up in your rate, even if you didn't have an exact project. But also, on top of that, there's tons, thousands of project ideas over there on Dinar Chronicles on their humanitarian tab there on the right side of the page. And Bruce has got a program where he's adopting cities and stuff. You can kind of get in on his idea and say, I'm going to adopt the city. And even Gary has got some project ideas that you can get on what he's doing. So you could come up with something, building pet shelters or housing the elderly or feeding the homeless or something that makes you, something that you want to do. That's the main thing. Something you got passion for. Something that's fun for you to do. That's what you want to look for. And it says here, if we have no bonds or funds for gold or anything to exchange in the first place. Oh, okay, I answered that. What if you don't have, the currencies or anything for money? Don't worry about it. There's money all over the place. Land of China Global gives out money to anybody who's got a project idea that they accept. There's going to be, the rest of us are going to have money and be looking for places and projects to fund. So if you got a project that you're interested in, you want to do, the money's going to be around. Don't worry about it. So here, my question is, how long until this income would be in civilian hands? Okay. So this is a good question. We're getting payouts, from what I understand, from the NASRO or the GASRO thing. It's guaranteed monthly income. But interestingly, I saw an article just today, and today's the 5th, and the Dinar Chronicles where I saw it, but I'm sure it's around, that India is talking about ideas for their guaranteed payment to all their citizens. And I know I saw an article about Canada doing the same thing, but what people don't know is once this NASRA thing goes, that's going to be the plan for everybody. Everybody's going to get guaranteed income. And how long will that be? It's not going to be too long after NASRA, I'm sure. And NASRA is not going to be too long after the RV. If not, maybe at the same time. We don't know yet. We have to see, but it's going to be soon. And it says how long until credit card debt will be forgiven. That's going to be along the same line. When they have the Jubilee announcement, and they come out and say, we got NASRA, we're getting rid of IRS, blah, 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 no more credit card payments, and a lot of mortgages will be given. So anyway, that's going to be coming up very shortly after the GCR goes. It says, Zim money, do not have any. I've known about NASRA. How will I get the money? Well, there's a lot of places where the Zim is for sale. A lot of people say go to eBay and look for the guaranteed sellers. The only thing I'd say to you is if you want to get in on the bandwagon, I'm not a financial advisor, so it's not my place to say go buy some. But my thinking is if you want to get in on it and make a move, it's I can't legally. All I can say to you is it's a defunct currency by rule right now. But we know a lot of things about it, that it's going to be redeemed. So when you buy it, I'm not going to tell you to go buy it, but I'm going to tell you I bought it. So that's all I can tell you. What? I have a few bills up as Vietnamese dong. Am I able to exchange this during this process? Yes. The dong, to me, the dong is the second most valuable currency besides the Zim. Dong has got a really great range, a rate on it. And again, I'm not going to give the rates out because frankly, I don't have source information on rates. But I know that it's really good. Really good. Okay. Here, what thoughts are redeeming currencies? Okay, what are the thoughts on redeeming currencies in the UK? If you go to HSBC. Well, you know what? Bruce has a lot of information on that. If you looked at those transcripts or listened to his calls, the big call, you'd probably get some information on that. My thinking is that when it happens, it's going to be happening worldwide. So when anybody out of the country and any other country hears, especially if you're tuning in here in the U.S., it's going to be all over the net for us. We're going to have 800 numbers out. Everybody's going to be running around and getting excited about it. When you hear about that, what I would say is it's called HSBC is the lead bank. If you got an HSBC, then call them after you hear it happen here and see what they tell you. The other alternative is if you can call into the U.S. and call those 800 numbers, I am certain, as big as this is, they're going to have some kind of international number that they can give you to call, and in some kind of way you'll find out where you can go in your country, because I'm certain they're not going to say, oh, well, we don't know anything about it. They're going to find a way to get you to the right place. So if you're in another country and you can't get the information for your own HSBC once this goes, then my suggestion is somehow call into the 800 number in the U.S. and ask them for an international number. And I'm sure they have one. I'm sure they've thought of that. Okay. Okay, this one says... Okay, this one says they want to get together with other people to do a project. There's probably going to be, there's a lot of people that want to get together to form a group to do projects. I don't see anything wrong with that. I know Gary's wanted to do something like that. I know Bruce has wanted to do something like that. I think Dr. WC over Real Truth Call is thinking about something like that. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of them. But my guess is that after this goes, that there may be some information showing up saying people that want to work with animals, or people that want to work with the vets or homeless, or building infrastructure, or saving the environment, or something. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something comes up in the blog, people looking to meet other people about specific things. So yeah, that's a good idea. But right now, I think I would wait until after it goes and then find your people that are doing your kind of projects if you want to. Okay, yeah, here it says, please correct me if I'm wrong. One who believes is trusting Joseph. Same person Zora said spread disinformation. So, yes, that's true. But you have to remember, from my point of view, the only information that was incorrect was the date. The information about them being a bond was correct. It was very valuable, was correct. That Zimbabwe was one of the richest nations was correct. The information about other various things was valid information. I find that the only information that was wrong, from my point of view, was the date. But on the other hand, we know for a fact that a lot of those were staged. They had to act like it was going to go so the bad guys would come out of their hole and make their move so they could be picked up. And you know what? That happened a lot of times. Yes, I know. It was stressful on us. But we're the internet group. That's the part. See, there's people out there that died for this, okay? And our part was to be tricked into thinking it was going so the cabal would go. But guess what? You're going to get paid really well for that. You're going to get really high rates for your currency. You're going to be very well reimbursed for being in the internet group who got tricked more than once in order to trick the cabal. So you know what? It's okay. That I find Joseph's information to be credible and be good, except for the date. And I completely understand why those were given, and they were needed. That's my opinion. Okay, here we go. If the RV were to go before NAFTA, will there be a gift taxing for large amounts? You know what? I don't think there's going to be a tax for giving large amounts, because that would be kind of income. But again, I'm not a financial specialist, and even if I was a financial specialist, everything we know is going to change. It's going to be completely different. That's something to ask at your exchange appointment, because they're going to know what the new rules are. But I wouldn't be surprised if you can give away large amounts of money without it being a tax consequence. But again, I'm not a financial specialist, and even if I was, whatever information I would know is going to be outdated. It's all changed. So that you're definitely going to have to ask the banker about that. Let's see. Are you familiar with the Cobra event? Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to skip over that. I don't have any information on that. Okay, question. Is the interest rate negotiations only regard to the ZIM or humanitarian project? You know what? That's a really, really good question. First of all, if you have enough money, you're probably going to be in, especially if you take any kind of negotiated rates, you're going to have some kind of a payout program with interest. But you know, I think that if you have enough money anyway, even if you didn't get the negotiated rate, that you can also put that into a payout program because, you know, let's say you got 100 trillion, just for round numbers. Where are you going to invest that? There's no place to spend 100 trillion. So you could put that in some sort of a structured payout program and get interest off it for 10 years or 20 years or 50 years and just work off the income for everything you want, and then you get all your money at the end. So I think you can put money that's not the private negotiated rate also in a structured payout program. It's just like a CD. People put their money in CDs all the time for a certain period of time, and they get paid interest. It says, should I buy ZIM or is it too late? I don't think it's too late, but I don't know. You'd have to go look and find it. I can't tell you exactly who. Okay, here it says, is everyone receiving money from the elders? And if so, how does that work when people are disabled, collecting low income? The way I understand it is I think every country, but I don't know that for sure. But I know for sure in the U.S., Canada, and India was even talking about it today. I really think it's going to be most of those 209 countries are going to give an income to all of their people guaranteed monthly. And it's going to have nothing to do with whether you're disabled or not. I imagine, I don't know for sure, but I imagine it's going to be on top of whatever you're getting. So if you're disabled and getting some kind of an income, I imagine that's going to be the same, but everybody's going to get some kind of a set amount. Even as far as I know, even us with the currency. I mean, we're already going to have money, but you know, we're still citizens of our countries, and we're still going to, you know, get a payout just like everybody else does. What would happen if people don't go to work because they have all this money? I don't know. I know a lot of the corporations are going to be bought out, bad ones. I don't know how fast this money is going to be introduced. I don't know how that's going to affect workers. I know that robots are going to take over a lot of the work, so we don't have to work, but I really can't answer that question. How about the people who have no money now? Are we included in this money? Okay, yes. You're not, if you don't have any money, especially currency, you're not going to get in on the currency exchange. That's okay. If you need something, there's going to be a lot of people that were in on the currency exchange. They're going to be willing to help you and wanting to help you, and it's going to be fun for us, joyful for us to help you. But in addition to that, when these guaranteed monthly incomes start paying out from the NASRA programs, you're going to get a really nice monthly check for a long, long time, guaranteed. So you're going to be fine. It's coming. I don't know how soon that's going to be, but it's coming. Okay, sovereign rates for the Zimbabwe dollar. Okay, it says sovereign rates for Zimbabwe dollar only. We answered this. It's for Zimbabwe, for the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, and I'm thinking the other one's in the basket, but I don't know for sure. It says, how many ZIM should we have to be part of the humanitarian movement? You can have one ZIM. You can have one 25,000 dinar note. You can have 100,000 dong note. You can have any amount of money to get in on the humanitarian movement. Like we said earlier, even if you just have one note and you got some good humanitarian project ideas that you want to do, then you're going to get a really high rate to do the project. The idea is they want you to have enough money to do the project. Having the currency in your hand is your ticket in to the exchange center to get that extra money. Because if you don't have the currency, you're not getting in the exchange center and you're not going to get that gift. So having currency is your ticket in the door to sit in front of those bankers and tell them about this dream you have for this project. And by the way, remember, over in Dinar Chronicles, I keep saying it, there's a big collection that keeps growing of humanitarian project ideas there. And it's in the tab on the right. And you can just scan through those and maybe pick out some things that you want to do. And then you've got something to say to the banker when you come in. Okay. I've been following this for a year as a Canadian with no Zim or Dong or anything else has changed, and no humanitarian project in view. What should individuals prepare for? Okay, first of all, you're going to get a guaranteed income payment as well. So you already got that coming. If you want to do humanitarian projects, there's going to be plenty of people that have money that want to help you do a humanitarian project. Even if you don't have one, you can find one. If you want to get involved in something, find a project, and then say, hey, I got this project, and somebody will say, hey, I want to fund it. That's what I'm going to be doing. Okay. I wonder if I can exchange in Canada, 2 hours away from HSBC. Yes. Bruce knows all about this. He usually talks about it in his shows, especially the older ones. But, I'm not going to name all the banks up there, but HSBC for sure. But this is the thing. It says you're 2 hours from HSBC. This is one thing you have to know. From what I understand, HSBC is the lead bank, but they don't have to be in your town. They don't even have to be in your state, because you're going to be going to exchange centers, and when you go there, you're going to tell them that you want to set it up as an HSBC account, and they will set it up there for you. And by the way, if you got enough money, and most of you will, you're going to be a private client. Remember Beverly Hillbillies and Drysdale, how he fell all over himself to do everything he could for the Beverly Hillbillies, and they only had, I don't know, maybe 100 million? Well, think about that 10 times or 1,000 times more. They will drive to your house and bring you cash or documents or do whatever you want to do. So you're going to be in the private banking side, and I doubt you will ever walk in a commercial HSBC location. They will come to you. So don't worry about where they are. All you got to worry about is getting to the exchange center, and there's going to be several of them near you, so don't worry about that. Low rates for Zim nodes, but what about the lower rates for Zim? Okay, this is about the low rate the public gets for low rates. Let me talk about that again so you're clear. Yes, the public is going to get the lower rate. Why? Because when they hear about it on TV, they're going to say, ooh, I've got some Iraqi dinar. They're going to go down to their corner bank, and they're going to lay it on the counter, and the teller is going to say that's $3 or whatever it is. And they're going to get that rate because that's the screen rate. That's the regular exchange rate. So they're going to get the lower rate, but we are going to get the higher rate because we're the internet group. We're going to get some kind of contact mechanism, some kind of 800 number, some kind of way that we're going to call an exchange center. That's where we're going. That's why you got to call right away. Because I don't know how long those 800 numbers are going to be valid. I don't know how long they're going to be sending you to exchange center. So you call up, and you say, hey, I got such and such, I'm looking for an exchange center. And they say, hey, we got this one, we got this one. You pick one, you set your appointment up. But for the public, they're going to get the lower rates. They're not going to walk in the corner bank and say, oh, I want private negotiated rates. They're not going to know what they're talking about. So, yes, the public gets the lower rate on all of the currencies. But we get the higher rate on all of the currencies, plus the perks and everything. So, be sure you call the 800 number mechanism, whatever it may be, and go to an exchange center because that's where they're going to treat you like royalty that you now are. It says, please verify what Zims will be expected. Joseph says all of them. I really don't know. I'm kind of feeling like it's going to be all of them. I would take every single one in, and I feel pretty good about that, but I can't guarantee it. I don't. Like I said, I don't have a bank contact, so I can't say that for sure. Here it says, here in Australia, we need to ring the American 800 number. What I would do is when you hear it's gone in the U.S., then call an HSBC in your country and see what they say. If they know what you're talking about, they send you to an exchange center or something, then probably you're all good. If they don't know what you're talking about, which frankly I doubt, but they might not know, then I would call the 800 number in the Americas. I know it's hard to call from out of the country. Maybe you can figure it out some kind of way, or somebody here can call it for you and say, listen, I'm in Australia, I'm in Canada, I'm in France, and stuff, wherever you are, and say, is there a number that I can call for my country? And I'm sure they have numbers for all of those countries because they want your money in the bank. So I'm sure there's a number for your country to call. I just don't want to know what it is. I don't know what that plan is. I know what the American plan is because that's where I'm at. Okay. We can't talk to anyone about it, nor should we. So the NDA is actually genius. So the NDA, they don't want you to talk, definitely don't want you talking about where the exchange center is. The last thing they need is a whole bunch of people showing up there saying, hey, what are you guys doing in there? No way. I mean, people are walking in that bank with trillions of dollars in their pocket. They got security around there. They got people with guns. They don't want anybody showing up there that doesn't belong there. Don't be talking about, when they give you the address location, don't be talking about it to anybody. Don't even tell anybody when your appointment date is. That's the last thing you want to do. Keep it private to yourself. Get there, get your business done, get back, and don't talk about it. Last thing they need is to have a bunch of people wondering what they just missed, knocking on the door to find out if they can get in on it, because they can't. Says, this means England's currency is a step ahead? Yes, absolutely. Says, Gary, I need some help with my projects. Who can help me finishing my project? Well, for one thing, the bank, the HSBC, they can provide you with experts. They can handle the whole thing for you. Tell them, I want this done in this country or in every country, in this state or whatever, and they will develop a plan. They'll hire the people. They'll make it work for you while you're out on the golf course, if that's what you want to do. So don't worry about that. And there's probably going to be so many posts after this goes by people with great ideas on finding managers and project people and contractors and all that stuff. That's going to be the fun part. Okay, well, that's all the questions so far that I got marked.
Great. Well, thank you so much, One Who Believes. This was a great session, and you answered a lot of questions, and there'll probably be some more coming in as a result of this. But I know people really appreciate it.
Yeah, so if you got questions, be sure you put it on this video, because I've already mined those other videos for questions, although I didn't get them all. So if I didn't get your question, then do me a favor, just put it again on this one video, because if we do another one of these, I'm going to answer just the questions on just this video. And again, I have no bank contacts or anything. This is just information I've derived from all my research I did for myself. And I learned this for me, and I'm willing to tell you what I found out. That's what's up. So, may you all get everything you want and live the life of your dreams.
Thank you so much again, One Who Believes. And everybody, you guys have a great evening, and tomorrow might be an exciting day. Tomorrow's Friday, the 6th.
Yeah, I think tomorrow is going to be the day that the media is going to be busy, and it's going to be exciting.
Well, thank you very much, and get ready, everyone, and make sure you're prepared mentally and got your stuff as well as you can get it so you can make a good presentation. And then just relax. Thank you all so much.
Cool. All right, bye.
Bye.